Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we're doing a full deep dive into one of the most important roles in Roblox Byte by Night, the medic. This is the class that most players overlook until the exact moment they're downed on the floor asking for help, because the medic is easily one of the biggest reasons a human team survives late game fights. While other classes focus on damage, scouting, or defense, the medic keeps the entire team functioning under pressure. Great medic can completely change the outcome of a match by keeping teammates alive during critical moments, helping the team recover after fights, and making sure the group can survive long enough to complete objectives. The role is not about getting the most eliminations or being the center of attention. Instead, it's about positioning, awareness, timing, and consistency. If you enjoy supporting your team, staying calm during chaos, and being the player who keeps everything together when fights get intense, medic is one of the most rewarding roles in the game. Medic's primary ability is the medkit, which provides healing over time to injured teammates. This might sound simple at first, but learning when and how to use it properly is what separates average medics from great ones. One of the biggest mistakes new players make is waiting until a teammate is almost dead before healing them. In reality, the best strategy is to heal early and keep your team healthy before situations become dangerous. Since the healing effect works over time, starting the heal sooner gives your teammate a much better chance of surviving incoming damage. It also combines well with natural health regeneration, meaning players recover faster and can stay active in fights instead of constantly retreating. Keeping your teammates healthy at all times makes it much harder for vampires to quickly eliminate someone in a single attack. The medic is strongest when preventing emergencies instead of reacting too late to them. Another important part of the medic kit is the emergency healing ability, often called quick heal or healing burst depending on the version of the game. This is the ability you save for critical moments. When a teammate suddenly takes massive damage or gets ambushed by a vampire, this ability can instantly stabilize the situation and keep them alive long enough to escape or fight back. Timing matters a lot here. Using it too early can leave your team vulnerable later, while waiting too long can result in losing a teammate entirely. Experienced medics learn to stay patient and recognize the moments that truly matter. During intense fights, one perfectly timed burst heal can completely shift the momentum back in your team's favor. The medic loadouts also include adrenaline shots or movement boosting abilities. These are extremely useful for helping teammates reposition during dangerous situations. If a scout gets caught too far ahead or an assault player needs to retreat after taking heavy damage, the speed boost can help them escape safely. Mobility is incredibly important in Byte by Night because staying still for too long often makes players easy targets. Smart medic uses these boosts not only to save teammates, but also to help the entire team rotate faster around objectives or avoid getting trapped by vampires in tight spaces. Medic players may also have access to team buffs such as resistance boosts, regeneration auras, or defensive effects that strengthen nearby allies. These abilities are most effective when activated before a major fight begins. Anticipating danger instead of waiting for disaster is one of the biggest skills a medic can develop. If your team is about to push into a dark building, defend an objective, or enter an area where vampires are likely hiding, activating support abilities early can give your team a major advantage. Small boosts to survivability often decide whether your team wins or loses long fights. One of the reasons the medic role is so valuable is because of how well it works with every other class in the game. The tank class is probably the medic's best partner. Tanks absorb huge amounts of damage and usually stay at the front line protecting the group. In return, the medic keeps them alive so they can continue holding space and distracting vampires. Coordinated tank and medic duo becomes extremely difficult for enemies to deal with because the tank constantly survives longer than expected while the medic stays protected behind them. This combination gives the rest of the team room to fight safely. The assault class also benefits heavily from having a strong medic nearby. Assault players focus on dealing high damage, but they often take risks while fighting aggressively. Without support, they can be overwhelmed quickly. Medic allows assault players to stay in combat longer and continue pressuring vampires, instead of retreating after every encounter. The difference between an average assault player and a dangerous one is often whether they have consistent healing support behind them. Scouts are another class that works well with medics. Scouts usually move ahead of the group to gather information, check dangerous areas, or locate objectives. Because they spend more time separated from the team, they often take damage during risky situations. Medic who pays attention to scout positioning can quickly stabilize them after they return from scouting runs. Supporting the scout properly helps the entire team because better information means fewer surprise attacks and better decision-making overall. Engineers also depend heavily on medics during setup phases. Engineers are responsible for building defenses, traps, or support equipment, and that usually requires standing still for periods of time. Vampires often target engineers specifically because shutting down defenses early can weaken the human team significantly. Medic staying near the engineer helps guarantee those defenses get completed safely. Once the engineer finishes setting up, the entire team benefits from stronger defensive positions. The medic role becomes even more important during late-game scenarios. As the match progresses, vampires become stronger, more aggressive, and much more dangerous in group fights. Damage increases, ambushes happen faster, and mistakes become more punishing. During these moments, healing and support can completely determine whether the human team survives. Late-game medics need to stay calm under pressure and prioritize targets correctly. Keeping one important teammate alive is often more valuable than spreading healing across everyone randomly. Positioning is one of the most important skills for medic players to learn. Medics should almost never be leading the group or entering dark areas first. Instead, the best position is slightly behind the front line, while still staying close enough to react instantly when teammates take damage. Staying too far away makes it difficult to heal quickly, but standing too close to danger can result in getting eliminated first. Finding the balance between safety and accessibility is a huge part of mastering the role. Movement also matters a lot. Standing still for too long makes you an easy target for vampires looking for isolated players. Good medics constantly reposition during fights, use cover effectively, and stay aware of escape routes. Rotating around obstacles and maintaining line of sight with teammates allows you to stay useful without exposing yourself unnecessarily. The moment the medic goes down, the team usually loses its ability to recover during extended fights, which is why survival should always be a top priority. Awareness is another trait that separates strong medic players from weaker ones. Great medics do not simply react after teammates are already injured. They predict where danger is likely to appear and prepare ahead of time. Watching teammate positioning, listening for movement, and understanding vampire behavior all help you anticipate fights before they happen. If your front line starts pushing into a risky area, moving closer before the engagement begins allows you to respond immediately once combat starts. Being proactive instead of reactive is what makes the role so effective. Communication is also extremely valuable. Even simple callouts or quick messages can make a huge difference. Reminding teammates to stay grouped together, warning them about incoming threats, or telling injured players to return for healing helps the team stay coordinated. Teams that stay close together are much easier for a medic to support, while scattered teammates are harder to protect effectively. Sometimes the best thing a medic can do is encourage smarter positioning and teamwork. Another important skill is learning when not to commit resources. Some players constantly run off alone, ignore the group, or take unnecessary risks. Chasing after every isolated teammate usually puts the medic in danger as well. Strong medics focus on supporting the players who are contributing most to the team's survival and objectives. Protecting coordinated teammates creates more overall value than risking everything to save someone far away from the group. The medic role is not designed for players who only want eliminations or non-stop action. Instead, it rewards patience, awareness, and smart decision-making. The impact of a good medic often does not show up on the scoreboard, but experienced players immediately recognize how valuable the role is during difficult matches. Single skilled medic can keep a team alive through situations that would otherwise end in a complete collapse. Overall, the medic is one of the strongest support roles in Byte by Night, and one of the most important parts of any successful human team. The class works well with tanks, assaults, scouts, engineers, and nearly every other role in the game because healing and support improve the effectiveness of the entire squad. Learning proper positioning, using abilities at the right time, staying aware of threats, and prioritizing teammates correctly are the keys to mastering the role. If you enjoy teamwork, strategy, and controlling the pace of fights through support rather than raw damage, medic is absolutely worth learning. Once you become comfortable with the role, you start realizing just how much influence a great medic has over the outcome of every match, and it quickly becomes one of the most rewarding ways to play the game.